everyone, good evening. My name's Amy, and thanks for joining Yoga Buzz tonight for an all levels flow. Really appreciate everyone's support and excited to bring yoga to you from our homes. So I was originally supposed to be doing yoga tonight at the Animal Protective Association of Missouri. We usually have a Yoga for Cats event there every month, and it's really fun. They introduce the cats that are available for adoption. They let them kind of run around and play and hang out while we do yoga. So keep an eye out for that event in the future. But for now, we want to continue showing our support, so we will have a link in our comments this evening. So if anyone wants to donate to the APA of Missouri, they can do that. So I don't have any cats, but I have a couple dogs, so you might see them pop in and out during class tonight. I don't know, but we can go ahead and get started. Just finding a comfortable seat on your mat, so whatever that looks like for you. So take a few moments here to just connect with your space wherever you're at in your home, or maybe you're outside. It's such a nice day out today. And feel free to maybe close your eyes or soften your gaze. Start to bring that attention inward. And then maybe start to bring that attention to your breath. And just noticing your natural breathing pattern. And feel free to maybe deepen your breath here. Maybe inhaling and exhaling through the nose, using that breath to warm up the body. Just keep breathing naturally. I do want to share a breathing technique with you tonight that I often use if I am stressed out or having trouble falling asleep. And all you have to remember is the number 4. So we'll inhale for 4, pause for a count of 4, exhale for 4, pause for a count of 4, and then repeat that. So when you're ready, just let out an exhale, just kind of clear your breath. And then we'll inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1, and pause. 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, and hold. 2, 3, 4. And let's try that again. Inhale for 3, 2, 4, and pause. And exhale for 2, 3, 4, and hold. Let's do one more round. Inhale and hold. Exhale and hold. And just allow yourself to breathe naturally again. Maybe play around with that breathing exercise later tonight as you fall asleep, see how it feels. Let's go ahead and come onto our hands and knees. So coming onto all fours in a tabletop position, you can bring your wrists under your shoulders and your knees under your hips, find a flat back. Spread your fingers wide here. And then start to tuck the tailbone, tuck the chin, maybe look in towards your belly button. So here's our cat pose for tonight. And then start to lift the gaze, lift the tailbone, bring that chest forward for cow pose. And then coming back to cat, so rounding through the spine, looking inward. And then reaching forward for our cow pose. Now if you want to match breath to movement, stay here in cow, inhale. And exhale back to cat, round. Inhale, cow. exhale, cat. And just keep going at your own pace. So maybe matching breath to movement, maybe not. Totally up to you. Just try not to hold your breath during any poses tonight. And then after a couple more rounds, you can come back to our tabletop position here on all fours. From tabletop, reach your right hand up towards the ceiling, finding a gentle twist here. And then set that hand back down. We'll take the other side. Left hand reaches up and lower. And if you want to add breath to movement, inhale as you reach the right hand back up. Exhale to lower. Inhale the left arm up. Exhale, lower. Inhale to the right. Exhale, bring it back down. One more time to the left, inhale, reach. And exhale, lower. From tabletop, reach your right leg back behind you. Just come onto the big right toe. And then turn to look over your right shoulder. Maybe even looking at your right foot. Good, and then come back to all fours. And we'll take the left leg back this time. Turn to look over your left shoulder. Come back to all fours. Take the right leg back again. We're going to add on, so reach your left arm forward and turn your hand in so your thumb is up towards the ceiling. And then you could float that left or right foot off the mat here and reach your fingers and toes towards opposite directions. Good, come back down to all fours. And this time left leg back. Right arm forward, float the back foot off the mat and reach. Come back down. We'll take the other side again. We're going to add on a little bit from here. So right leg lifts, left arm forward. And then bend the elbow, bend the knee, bring them to touch together just underneath. And then extend it back out nice and long in opposite directions. So we'll try that again, elbow to knee, and extend, and again, elbow, knee, extend, and try 2 more times, maybe at your own pace. You can always do more or less of these. And then we'll meet back in tabletop and set up for the other side. So when you're ready, left leg comes back, right arm forward, and elbow to knee. So I'm going to try to do 5 all together. Feel free to do more or less. You could also do cat-cow here if you'd rather do that. And then we'll meet back in tabletop. Good, from tabletop, bring your 2 big toes to touch behind you. And your knees can stay where they're at, or you might want to take them out a little wider. Bring your hips back over your heels for a child's pose. Feel free to rest your forearms or your forehead on the mat here in child's pose. This is always a good place to come to if you ever want to maybe just take a stretch or catch your breath during the practice. I find that child's pose is a good place to come to regroup. So go ahead, come on back up to hands and knees. Spread those fingers nice and wide. Tuck your toes, lift your hips up for down dog. So in down dog, feel free to pedal out your feet here. Maybe move the hips from side to side. Anything that feels good. Still just warming up here. And go ahead, look towards the top of your mat and step your feet behind your hands, setting up for a forward fold. So your knees can be bent, Your feet could be hip distance apart, maybe wider. Just kind of letting your head hang heavy. Let your arms and hands hang heavy here. Maybe move the hips from side to side. Maybe shape the head yes and no. Anything that feels good in your first forward fold tonight. And then slowly start to come on up. You might press your feet into the mat to help you stand up. Come all the way on up. So bring your palms together in front of your chest, and feet can still be about hip distance apart. Reach your hands up towards the ceiling, and then reach it over to the right. Find a side stretch here. Try not to hold your breath during this stretch. If you want, you can look down, or you could even look under your top arm if that feels okay on your neck. And go ahead, come back up through the middle. Maybe inhale here, reach up a little higher. And then exhale, reach it over to the opposite side. Feel that stretch. Just breathe into this pose here. Inhale to come back up. Exhale, let your arms float down by your side as you hinge forward for forward fold. And I'm just going to turn to the side so you can see better. Bring your hands up to maybe your shins or your thighs. Find a flat back parallel with your mat for a halfway lift. And then allow those hands to slide back down towards the ground, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale to fold forward. Big inhale, come all the way back up. Reach up. Exhale as you draw your hands in front of the heart. Inhale to reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. And a big inhale, come all the way back up again. Reach up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. We're going to step it back to a plank or the top of a push-up. So you can keep your knees lifted or bring them to your mat. It's up to you. I'm going to do the first round on my knees here. And then you can hold your plank, or if you'd like to add a bit of a challenge tonight, you could add a yoga push-up here. So if you want to try that, go ahead, lower that chest towards the mat, keep those elbows tucked in by your side, and then come back up to your plank. So maybe give that a try. And we'll all meet in plank. And then from your plank pose, you have a couple options as well. So you could bring your hips back over your heels for child's pose, or you could reach those hips up and back for down dog. And take a couple deep breaths there, wherever you're at. And then go ahead, look forward, and step those feet to forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, come back up, reach up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Let's try it again. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Step back to plank. From plank, you could pause here, hold your plank, or maybe add a push-up, or a couple, up to you. And then when you're ready, take those hips back to either child's pose or down dog, your option. And look forward. And then you can step the feet, or maybe you want to add a little hop to the top of your mat. one more round. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Step it back to your plank. Optional push-up here. And back to your child's pose or down dog. And look forward, step or hop. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, hands to the heart. All right, guys, good job. So kind of shake it out. Maybe take a drink of water, but we're gonna keep moving. And we're gonna add a chair pose to our flow. So you might wanna keep your feet hip distance apart. You could also bring your two big toes to touch, it's up to you. Your hands can be at heart center. And then when you're ready, go ahead, sit your hips back and then down, as if you were finding a seat behind you. And then you can maybe add the arms out in front or reach your fingers overhead, it's up to you. And then think of squeezing those inner thighs, your core, your inner arms, everything into the middle here. So really active in our chair pose. And stay here for one more breath. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward. From your forward fold, let's take it back to our plank. So step back. And then this time we're gonna add a side plank. So you could keep your left knee on the mat, reach your right hand up, turn your right foot on its side. So you want to stack the hips, stack the shoulders, and then reach that right hand up towards the ceiling. So your bottom knee, your left knee could be on the ground, or if you wanted to, you could stagger your feet or stack your feet. If you're not feeling the side plank tonight, that's okay. You can hold your plank, or you can come back to down dog or child's pose. Maybe do some more cat-cows. Lots of options here. So come back to your regular plank, and let's all meet in down dog. So just take your time getting there. Let's take a couple deep breaths here. We're gonna add on some more. Lift your left leg up towards the ceiling for a three-legged dog. And then bend your left knee. We're gonna step that left foot forward in between the hands, setting up for a low lunge here. So you might have to take a few steps or help that foot up towards the top of your mat here. And then when you're ready, you can walk the hands up the thigh, or maybe reach the arms up overhead for a high lunge. So see if you can, in your high lunge, try to keep your hips facing the short edge of your mat. And then lift that back leg nice and strong. Think of reaching that thigh towards the ceiling. Good. From here, spin your back foot down 90 degrees. Bring your arms out wide. So we're gonna set up for a warrior two. So you might wanna check your stance. Your front heel is about in line with the center of your back foot. Your arms can come out wide, and you can turn to look over those left fingertips, those front fingertips, and maybe reach your fingers towards opposite ends of the space for warrior two. I'm gonna hold it for a couple breaths here. We're not gonna do many of these tonight, so we're gonna enjoy our warrior two while we're here. So from here, we're gonna cartwheel the arms forward, turn the back foot back forward. Left foot's gonna take a big step back to down dog. And then look forward, maybe step or hop to forward fold, and then slowly rise back up to standing. Shake it out if you'd like. Maybe do a few shoulder rolls. And we'll do another round. So we're gonna set up for chair pose. So feet hip distance apart, or maybe toes touch. Hands together in front of the heart. Try to keep that chest lifted. Maybe engage the core. And then when you're ready, sit those hips back and down for chair. So think of squeezing those inner thighs together and then squeezing your core in. Maybe add the arms, squeezing the inner arms towards each other. Maybe reach the hands overhead, up to you. And we don't have any other chair poses tonight, so feel free to take it a little deeper if that feels good. Stay here for one more breath. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward. From your forward fold, let's take it back to plank again. And then option for side planks here. So if you want to try the side plank, this time the left arm is going to reach up. Your right knee could come to the mat, or you could stagger or stack your legs. So play around with that. Try to keep those hips lifted if you're in your side plank. Maybe even look up towards your top hand. It's okay to be a little shaky. And go ahead and come back down to your plank. And we'll all meet in down dog. So take your time, take a couple breaths. So this time the right leg reaches up towards the ceiling for three-legged dog. Bend the right knee, step that right foot forward. Find your low lunge first, just to help you kind of set your foundation. Make sure you feel sturdy before you come up. You might want to heel toe your front foot out a few inches, or kind of check your alignment with your knee. Make sure it's not going in front of your ankle. And then when you feel good here, come on up to your high lunge. So reach the chest up, maybe reach the arms up. Hips are pointing towards the short edge of the mat. Back leg is strong. Core is engaged. When you're ready, take that back foot down 90 degrees. Bring the arms out wide. Check your alignment here. And then turn to look over your right fingers this time. See if you can keep your shoulders out of your ears. Maybe even engage the core. And enjoy your warrior two. Cartwheel those arms forward. Turn the back foot forward. Big step back with the right foot. Down dog. And look forward. Step or hop to forward fold. And slowly rise on up to standing at the top of your mat. So feel free to shake it out again a little bit. And let's find a mountain pose here. So feet about hip distance apart. See if you can think about rooting all four corners of your feet into the mat here. Stand up tall. You can allow your arms to float down by your side. Maybe turn your palms forward. And you can close your eyes or soften your gaze. Maybe find a spot on the floor to focus on. And let's take a deep breath in through the nose. But open mouth exhale. So just let a sigh out. So let's try that again. Inhale. Exhale, sigh. Nice. One more time. Inhale. And sigh. All right. Let's keep moving. Okay, so come to the top of your mat. Bring your hands to your hips. And take a big step back with your right leg. So you're going to come into a high lunge here. can bring the arms up overhead. And then turn to your left, so you're twisting towards that bent knee, and then your arms come out parallel with your mat. And if it's okay on your balance, you could look over your back shoulder towards your left hand here. And then go ahead, come back to the center, bring that left arm up. Inhale. Exhale, lower the hands down to the mat. Lower that back knee to the mat. Now, if you've got a couple blocks or even a couple books or couch pillows handy, really anything, totally optional. Don't worry about it if you don't have anything nearby, but you could grab those. We're gonna set up for a half split. So that front leg extends straight, hips come back slightly, and then those toes are pointing more towards you. So if you have blocks or books or something handy, you could use them here to kind of help you keep some height in your half splits. But it's totally optional. And go ahead, bend that front knee. And you can just release your blocks to the side here. And we're gonna come up here. So walk the hands up the thigh, bring that chest up, shoulders over hips. And then maybe press those hips forward just gently and slightly, finding a slight stretch through that right quad, that right hip flexor. Your left hand can stay on your hip. Reach your right arm up, and then reach it overhead for a side stretch. And then come back up. We'll release both hands back down to the mat. Tuck the back toes, lift that back knee. Take a big step forward to forward fold, or you might take a few steps to get there. And then just shake it out here, maybe move the hips from side to side. And slowly roll up to standing. So we'll take the other side here. So hands to the hips, stand up tall. Big step back with the left leg. Find your high lunge here. Then when you're ready, twist to your right, arms come out nice and wide. Maybe look over your back shoulder. And come back forward, reach up, inhale. Exhale, lower the hands back down, framing that front foot, lower that back knee to the mat. You can untuck those back toes as well. Straighten the front leg, flex the front foot. Maybe grab your blocks or your books if you have something handy. And take a few deep breaths here in your half splits. And then bend that front knee. Walk the hands up the thigh, come on up. Maybe bring those hips forward just gently, finding a stretch on the left side here. Right hand to the hip, left arm up, reach it up and over. Find that side stretch. And come on back up. Reach the hands down. Tuck the back toes, lift that back knee, and maybe take one big step or a few steps to get back to your forward fold. And again, feel free to shake it out here. And then come on back up to standing here. Feel free to take a drink or anything. You can kind of move your blocks to the side. We might use them again. And this time we're going to take a wide step. So facing the long edge of the mat this time, and all 10 toes can point towards that long edge. And then bring your arms out wide just to check your stance. Your ankles could be under your wrist, maybe, maybe not, but that's about how wide apart our stance is. Bring bring your hands to your hips and then just slowly start to fold forward, hinging at the hips here, and then allow the head and hands to hang heavy. So we're in a wide-legged forward fold. And plant your left hand down on the mat. Reach that right arm up for a twist. So you could look up at your top hand, you could look down, really anywhere that feels good on your neck. And reach that right hand down, left arm comes up this time. Find that twist. And reach that left hand back down. Fold forward here, let yourself hang heavy. If you still have a block or a book handy, you could even rest your forearms on your block. You could rest your forehead on your block. Anything that feels good. And then we'll slowly come back up, bring your hands to your hips, bend your knees, and slowly roll on up. And we'll start again at the top of our mat here. And let's reach the arms up overhead and inhale. Exhale to fold forward. And take a big step back with the right leg. Find your low lunge. You could lower the knee to the mat this time as well. We're going to do a lizard lunge. So bring both hands to the inside of that front foot, and you might even walk your front foot out a few inches. And you can stay right here. Lots of variations in lizard, that's why I like it so much. So you could stay here with the back knee grounded. You could tuck the toes and lift the back knee. You could stay on the hands or come to the elbows. I like to have my elbows on the block. It just helps me keep my spine more straight. And you could also come to the outside edge of that front foot. So I don't know if you can see from here, but kind of opening up through that front hip is an option as well. And plant that foot back on the ground if you were on the outside edge. We're going to find our half splits again, so straighten that front leg. And this time, if you'd like, you can play around with maybe pointing the toes away from you. You just might find more of a stretch through the front of the leg versus the back of the leg. If that doesn't feel good to you, don't worry about it, but something to maybe explore. And bend that front knee again. And bring your right hand to the mat. We're going to take the left arm up for a twist. So lots of options here. In our twist, you can have the arm lifted. You could bring it to your hip and twist. You could reach that left arm behind you. And you could also reach for your back foot if you wanted to kick it up and find a twist. So I probably should have facing the other way first, but hopefully you found a twist here. And we'll come back on down, bring that left knee back to meet the right, and find a child's pose. Take a couple deep breaths here. And then go ahead, come back up to hands and knees. Step the right foot forward this time. And we'll do lizard lunge on the other side. So the knee could be grounded or lifted. Hands to the inside of that front foot. Maybe come to a block. Maybe come to the outside edge of that front foot. And then lower the back knee if it's lifted. And come into the half split one more time. And bend that front knee. Plant the left hand to the mat. Right arm reaches up for that twist. So again, lots of options. Your hand can be on your hip. You could reach it back behind you. Maybe kick your left foot up. And it's okay if you don't make that hand to foot connection. You can still just reach for it. Totally optional. And then slowly come out of your twist here. Bring your right knee back and find a child's pose. And then slowly start to come back up. We're gonna stand it up one more time. So just make your way up to standing. Take your time. And we'll do a tree pose tonight. So let's start with the weight in our right leg. Come to your big left toe. Hands can be together in front of the heart. And then you can turn that left knee out to the side. Maybe bring your left foot up to your calf. Maybe to the inner thigh. Just try not to press your foot against your knee. And then if you want to play around with the arms, you could bring them up overhead. You could bring them out wide. If you'd really like to challenge your balance, you could look up towards the ceiling. And you could also play around with closing your eyes. And it's okay if you fall out of it or you wobble a little bit. Just come back into the pose. Try again. And when you're ready, we'll slowly come back out of our tree pose. And take the other side. So bring that weight into the left leg. Hands can be at the heart to start. And come to the big right toe. Turn the right knee out to the side. And you can stay right here. Maybe find a focal point on the ground before you try going any further, just to help with your balance. And then that right foot could come to the calf, or maybe the inner thigh. And I can hear my dog has joined us. This is Murphy. And then if you want to play around with the arms, you could add the arms. You could also play around with your gaze, maybe looking up or closing the eyes. Oh, so go ahead, you can slowly come out of your tree pose. And we are going to make our way down to the mat. So go ahead, find a seat. And just extend your legs out straight in front of you. You can flex your feet so your toes are pointing towards your face. Sit up nice and tall. Maybe bring your hands to your hips. And then reach those arms up overhead and fold forward over your legs, finding a stretch here. All right. And slowly come back out. And then go ahead, take your right leg out to the side, bring your left foot in, and then reach your left arm up and reach it over. So finding a side stretch through the left side of the body. So I'm going to move her out of here. And then we'll slowly take the other side. So left leg comes out, right foot to the thigh. Reach your right arm up, and then reach it over for a side stretch. And slowly come back up here. And we'll come onto our backs. So plant the feet, and slowly come on down. And just hug your knees into your chest, maybe rock from side to side. And then plant your feet onto your mat. Take your right ankle over your left thigh, flex that right foot, and gently let that right knee fall away from the body. You could open up your arms here to cactus arms, or like a T shape, just for a little bit more of a chest opener. And then go ahead, switch sides. So left ankle over right thigh, flex the foot. And go ahead, uncross the legs, hug the knees in, rock from side to side. Hug your right knee in, let your left leg extend long. And bring that right knee out to the side and maybe up towards your right underarm. And then see if you can flex both feet again. Maybe bring your right arm out to a T shape. And then draw your knee across the body for a supine twist. And then gently come back up, hug that right knee in. Switch sides, so left knee hugs in, flex the feet, bring that left knee out to the side, up towards that left underarm. Reach your left arm out to the side and draw that left knee across the body, finding that supine twist. If it feels okay on your neck, you can turn to look towards your left hand. And then slowly come back up, hug the knees in one more time. Rock from side to side or rock it back and forth. And then any last pose or stretch or movement that feels good, feel free to take that now. You could do happy baby, you could do plow pose. I'm going to do waterfall. So just letting my legs extend long and just gently holding onto the back of my thighs, letting that blood rush down the legs. And I like to point and flex my feet, roll my ankles into different circles in opposite directions. And then go ahead, set up for your Shavasana or your final relaxation pose. So you could lie down with your legs straight and your arms down by your side. Maybe one hand on the heart, one hand on the belly. You could also come onto one side if you'd like, and use your bottom arm as a pillow to support your head. Or you could even just come on up to a comfortable seat. It's really anything that feels good to you, where you can rest and relax for a minute or two as we close out class. So feel free to close your eyes and bring that attention back inward to yourself. And let go of any discomfort or tension that you might be holding on to in the body. And allow yourself to just breathe naturally. So feel free to stay here in this space wherever you're at home, and feel free to stay in this state of relaxation. Hold your Savasana tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. if you'd like to stay, you might pause your video so you don't get something random start to play. If you are going about your evening, then have a good one, and I wish everyone is safe and healthy and to be well. So thanks again.